Big winner of the Dow this quarter was Apple. Intel was the biggest loser. Over in the S&P 500, Advanced Micro Devices was the biggest winner for the quarter, and Twitter was the biggest loser. So some quiet action today as far as the major averages, Mike. Weakness in the financials and strength in some of the defensive groups.
Yeah, and it's been kind of a mixed message for a while now. I think you really have to be comfortable with ambiguity when you look at this market, right? The trend remains encouraging. It's still an uptrend. The market was up, as you say, more than 7% this quarter, 9% year to date by the S&P. But you have these supposedly bellwether groups like banks and financials, like semiconductors, like some industrials that really are struggling well below their highs. So you have to kind of, I guess, consider those things to be a little bit of a detriment to the overall picture. But I think kind of, you know, the prevailing tone goes with how the indexes are doing. And I think that's where we stand. I will say we're only 1.5% up from 8 months ago in the S&P 500. Even though you had this correction and you clawed your way back, it's still kind of a mixed picture.
Mike, just quickly before we broaden out, I mean, the week itself, financials down 4%,
yes.
Materials down 4%. That's pretty worrying, particularly on the financials front, given that we thought we'd got past that lull. They had a bit of a rally back up, and we had a rate hike.
Looks like a tremendous head fake in the financials upward last week, the week before. Yeah, it is worrying, and then I think you can also spin it the other way, though, and say, even with those kind of drags on the market, in general, the tone remains okay at the index level. And so it's almost like the market's giving you just enough reason to keep your faith in the fact that the year looks okay, mostly because the very big cap growth companies in healthcare are working. I
was just going to say, healthcare wins for the week along with communication services. Quite a debut, up 1%, best performing sector on the week, Evan. It has names like News Corp, CBS, but also names like Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
Mike's just giving you the glass half full story. It's been a benign.
We always turn to you for the dark side.
It's been a benign quarter. It's been a good quarter if you were invested in stocks. I think where we are though is exactly where we've been for the last few weeks, which is if you are a believer in the next leg higher for the market, it's hard to see where it comes from. If it's not coming from the financials, you know, energy is still such a small portion of the overall S&P 500. I think it's 5 or 6%, something like that. And so even though the price of oil has been very, very strong in the past couple of weeks, it's not going to take the overall index higher, just some strength in the energy sector. So you really need the financials. And it's not clear that it's going to come. As the yield curve got super flat, you know, the reaction to the Fed was relatively benign in the bond markets, but the reaction was really in the financials, which really did very poorly this week.